Hey guys, it's Goldy here, coming out with another video, and today I'm gonna get straight to the video, like no yapping, because some people in other videos saying I was yapping a lot. But in this video, I'm gonna show you how to pair your Sony PlayStation 4 Dualshock controller to Linux via Bluetooth and have it appear on Steam. I've been having some difficulties doing this in the past on Arch. I don't know about other distros. There's a few things that you need to change to allow Bluetooth to work. So let's just begin with what works currently. So typically the Sony Dualshock 4 controller, when you plug it in via USB into your system, it gets detected right away. It gets detected. KDE is able to detect it. Steam is also able to detect it. What doesn't work for some reason, well, I'm going to tell the reason why it doesn't work in a minute, but what doesn't work is Bluetooth. For some reason, when you pair your controller with Bluetooth, like the pairing works, the pairing process works, it gets paired. I can show you my Bluetooth status right now. So this is my PlayStation controller right here, wireless controller. It gets paired, that works, right? Cool. However, it doesn't get detected as a controller. Steam is not able to find it, and I didn't know why for a while, but now I found out why. But before we get into why, let me show you what the Arch Linux wiki recommends. So this is the Arch Linux wiki for gamepad, and I'm in a section specifically for PlayStation 4 controllers. And if I just go over to that section, actually, sure, I should get PlayStation somewhere around here. I just need to keep scrolling. Okay, so we got PlayStation 3 controller here. Let's go to PlayStation 4 controller. So here it recommends you, it tells you to have a couple of things. So it's also for Synaxis controllers. I don't know what that is, but they said that it works when you plug it in through USB, which it does for me. I can show you. So right now I'm just gonna disconnect my controller from the Bluetooth right now, so I'm no longer using Bluetooth, and let me just disconnect, and I'm gonna plug it in. So there we go. So it's there, and you can see it changes color. The reason it changes color is because it's being detected through Steam. So on Steam, I think it's called Steam Play, I'm not sure what it's called, but basically I've set up on Steam where if it connects through Steam, the light will turn to this orangey color. So it's actually not, it doesn't mean that it's charging. This is actually the orange that I set as a preset. But anyways, it's connected because we know it's connected by the color. It also confirmed that it's working by going to game controllers on KDE. Actually, I just gotta search up settings. Just click on settings here, actually, and go to game controller, and we can see that it's being detected there. So it shows up as PS4 controller. So yeah, this is working because we also can move the joystick, and you can notice you can move the joystick and it works, as you can see. So that's cool. So cable works perfectly fine for me, has always worked, never failed for me, never failed. Right, now Bluetooth. I'm not going to show you how Bluetooth fails, but Bluetooth, when I pair it, it pairs perfectly fine, no problem, right? But it fails to actually appear. So I had this issue where, again, if I go to like game controllers, it wouldn't appear here, it wouldn't show up, right? And I didn't know what it was. So again, going back to what Arch recommends, if you go to the troubleshooting, and if you go to by the way, guys, if you want the explanation on how to fix it, just skip to the timestamp I have on the screen currently. I'm also going to timestamp it on YouTube as well, so you can know. Sorry for saying this far into the video. So they recommend, if your PS4 is having problems being recognized through Bluetooth, they recommend to install DS4 DVR, which is basically a user space driver for the Sony Dualshock 4 controller. This doesn't work anymore. It has bugs, it has problems. I ran it. I have gotten it to run by just editing it through Python lines. The controller did appear in the game control section, but it appears to be virtualizing the controller instead of just like, you know, using the actual kernel's modules to just connect my controller, you know, to the daemon or whatever. It seems to do some emulation, so it creates its own virtual controller, which is what was showing up in the game controller section, and not my actual controller. So when I moved the controller, it wouldn't actually work. This library is like 8 years old now, so I wouldn't really recommend to even install that. However, the actual way to fix this is to follow this Steam guide right here. Big thanks to So Notice for making this guide, because this guide works. Despite it saying Ubuntu 18.04, it works on Ubuntu, and it works on, also works on Arch as well. So it's very simple. All you have to do is basically copy this over to this file over here. So if I just open up my terminal, as you can see, I sudo nanoed into 99 steam controller perms.rules, and I added this. I literally just copy pasted this in here. You can, if you want to, like only if you want like certain rules, you can pick and choose which rules you would like to add. So you can, like, for example, maybe you don't want the USB, you can just add like, because the USB works fine for me. If you just want Bluetooth, you can just add Bluetooth. Like you can pick and choose things here, but these are required to my understanding, and it's also required to sudo cmod 666 the dev u input. So what 666 does is basically it allows everyone to access that input thing, and this is just to make sure that Steam is able to 100%, you know, access this input. Yes, it might be a security thing, but if it is, you can adjust it. And I think what you have to do is whatever like group Steam is inside, it needs to have access to this. I think that's how it works, right? But if you want to just be lazy, just give everyone access to it. Like it's just controller. Anyways, so also you wanna also make sure you sudo. He does say to reboot your system, however you don't have to. I did it and it worked without rebooting. If you don't want to reboot, you can actually just do, I think it's sudo urun trigger, I think. If I just go over, yeah, sudo udev am whatever the frick this says triggers. So yeah, once you do this, it works. Yeah, it just works. Once you do this, but make sure you reconnect to your PlayStation controller. So once you reconnect that, and by the way, also, oh yeah, I forgot to go through over pairing. But if you reconnect that, it should work. You should be able to see it. You can confirm that it's working by checking the game controllers if you're on KDE, or going into Steam and then going into not in game controller, and it should show up here, piece of controller and all this stuff here. Also make sure to enable Steam input for controllers, PlayStation controller support. I think you can do enable in games without support, because some games don't support PlayStation controllers, and you have to have this enabled to make sure that, you know, it's using Steam controller instead of, you know, trying to do some funky stuff on it, because it won't work on a lot of games. Yeah, I'd recommend setting it to enable games without support, but I just have it enabled because I was doing some debugging earlier. But yeah, anyways, another thing I want to get through is also just pairing your PlayStation controller. So that's very, very simple to do. We're gonna do a search, and we're gonna hold PlayStation controller and share for a few seconds, and it should start blinking. So you see this flashing light. So now it should show up as wireless controller. Double click on that. Okay, I'm having some connectivity difficulties. Typical to have. I think it's just I need to redo this. There we go. Okay, so sometimes it's a bit buggy like that. I don't know why, but it should be connected now. The controller's lighting up. Yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. So I'm gonna go play some Bus Simulator 2018. Thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and peace out.